Okay, now we are moving on to the challenge of the unevangelized. And this is an important part because we need to recognize not only where the church is growing and where it has come from, as we've done already in the presentation, but it's essential to note where the church is actually not and where the church needs to move into in the areas of those who have not heard the gospel before. Now here we get that same population distribution map, but overlaid onto it in gray are dots representing 50,000 unevangelized. And no surprise, of course, that the blue dots representing Christians have very little overlap with the gray dots representing the unevangelized. In fact, that's why they're unevangelized, is because they haven't encountered Christians who would share the gospel with them. There was a study done by some of our research colleagues based in the United States at the Center for the Study of Global Christianity, who came to the conclusion that 90% of the world's Muslims, Hindus, and Buddhists do not personally know a Christian. So it's no surprise that they remain unevangelized when they don't have any actual meaningful encounter with people who are actually living out the gospel. Of course, there's other means by which they can hear the good news through media of various forms, through dreams and visions, but by and large, the normative, general way that people encounter the gospel is through interaction with other human beings. And what's important to note is that the actual number of unevangelized people in the world today is getting bigger every single day, which is kind of a shocking figure when people hear this. It's interesting to note that in 1950, half of the world's population was unevangelized. Today, we're talking probably somewhere around 27 or even a little bit less % of the world that is unevangelized. So while we've cut the percentage of the world's unevangelized in half in the last 50, 60 years, the actual raw numbers of people who are in the world and haven't heard the gospel is getting larger every day because of the growth rates and the population growth in the parts of the world that remain unevangelized today. And so while we might think that we're doing amazing things and that God is really building his church, both of which are true, the other side of that coin is the fact that we're actually losing ground in terms of the total mass of humanity who hasn't heard the gospel before. So clearly we need to be doing things in a different way and looking for other options as to how we can see this Great Commission fulfilled. Now here we look at the top 10 countries in terms of unevangelized population. And I don't think anyone would leave India and China off of their list of top 10 if you were